You wake up, your body heavy as if an invisible weight presses against your chest. The coffee's gone cold, your phone vibrates with unanswered texts, and your inbox glares with demands. You're exhausted, not from the grind of work, not from family arguments, not from the endless errands. No, it's something quieter, more insidious, something that's been siphoning your energy for years, your overaccessibility. Take Lena, a 36-year-old social worker who's always been the rock for everyone. Her phone is a lifeline for friends needing advice, co-workers seeking favors, even distant relatives venting their woes. Lena's the one who replies to messages at midnight, who drives across town to help a friend move, who never lets a call go to voicemail. She thought this made her essential, a pillar of love and reliability. But one evening, sitting in her dimly lit living room, the flicker of a candle her only companion, she felt hollow. "I'm giving everything," she murmured. "But why do I feel like nothing?" Here's the raw truth. The more available you are, the less you're valued. It's a psychological law etched into human nature. Think of a rare painting, locked in a gallery vault. Its scarcity makes it priceless. Now think of a flyer on a lamppost, tattered and ignored. Lena's story might echo yours if you've ever felt stretched thin by the world's demands. You've been taught that being always on earns respect, love, validation. But it's a trap. It's the invisible chain that binds you to emotional depletion. The more you show up, the less they notice. The more you give, the less they care. How many times have you paused your life to answer a call, only to feel unseen? How often have you burned out chasing a nod of approval that never comes? This isn't about shame, it's about seeing the cycle clearly. Overaccessibility doesn't make you strong, it makes you a servant to others' whims. But there's a way out, and it starts with one defiant act: saying no. Why does being too available erode your worth? It's a paradox as old as time. What's plentiful loses its charm. Consider Mateo, a 44-year-old architect who used to share his designs freely, sketching ideas for anyone who asked, posting every draft online. He thought openness would build his reputation. But the more he shared, the less people valued him. Clients lowballed his fees, peers overlooked his talent. It wasn't until Mateo pulled back, showcasing only his finest work and saying no to small gigs, that the world took notice. His scarcity created a mystique, a demand for his vision that hadn't existed before. This isn't just about architecture, it's about you. When you're always a text away, always ready to jump in, you become predictable, ordinary. Your time, your energy, your presence, they lose their weight. But when you step back, when you choose who gets access to you, something shifts. People feel your absence. They wonder where you are, what you're doing. Your silence becomes a statement, louder than any words. Lena tried something bold. For a week, she stopped replying to every message instantly. She let calls go unanswered. She skipped a volunteer event she didn't care about. At first, she was terrified. Would people think she was cold? Would they forget her? But then, something unexpected happened. Her friend Zara, 35, who usually only texted when she needed a favor, reached out. "You've been quiet," Zara said, her voice tinged with worry. "You okay?" For the first time, Lena felt seen, not for her availability, but for her absence. The lesson is stark. Respect is born in distance. Your value grows when you guard your energy like a treasure. It's not about being aloof. It's about being intentional. Every yes you give to the world is a no to yourself. And the world? It respects those who respect their own time. Now, let's get to the root of it. Why do you keep saying yes? Often, it's a hunger for approval. We're wired for it. Long ago, belonging meant survival. But today, that instinct can betray you. Meet Ezra, a 31-year-old barista who spent years pleasing everyone. He'd cover shifts for co-workers, host game nights for friends who never returned the favor, run errands for his parents. He thought it made him good, worthy. But one night, as he sat in his cramped apartment, the hum of traffic outside his window, he realized he'd lost himself. His sketchbook was untouched. His dreams of opening a cafe felt like a stranger's. "Who am I if I'm not helping?" he asked the empty room. Ezra's story reveals a brutal truth. The need for validation is a silent thief. Every time you chase a thank you, a smile, a fleeting glance, you hand over a piece of your power. You become a puppet, dancing to the rhythm of others' expectations. And the worst part? Approval is fleeting. It vanishes the moment you grasp it, leaving you hungrier than before. But there's a way to break free. It starts with a shift. Your worth isn't tied to what others think. It's rooted in your ability to stand alone, to find peace in your own company. Imagine this. You're sitting by a river, the water glinting under the sun, the breeze carrying the scent of wildflowers. No one's watching, no one's judging. You're just you, whole and complete. That's the strength you're after, not the applause of a crowd, but the quiet certainty of your own value. For Ezra, change began with small steps. He said no to an extra shift. He spent a Sunday sketching instead of hosting. He took a solo hike, the crunch of gravel under his boots grounding him. At first, the guilt was heavy, but as he stood on a hill, the city sprawling below, he felt alive again. He realized true strength lies in solitude, not as a punishment, but as a sanctuary where you meet yourself. Let's talk about silence, not the awkward kind, but the kind that commands respect. Silence is your secret weapon, a language more potent than words. When you pause before responding, when you let a moment breathe, you create space for mystery. And mystery? It's magnetic. Take Zara, a 39-year-old consultant who used to live by always be available. She'd answer emails at dawn, attend every networking event, take every client call, but her business stalled and her energy waned. One day, a mentor pulled her aside. "You're everywhere," he said, "but you're not felt." He urged her to try something radical, disappear for a week. No emails, no calls, no social media, just silence. Zara was skeptical, but she tried it. She spent 7 days in a lakeside cabin, the water lapping against the shore, the air thick with pine. She read, cooked, let her thoughts unravel. When she returned, her inbox was alive, not with complaints, but with curiosity. Clients wanted her expertise. Colleagues sought her input. Her absence had made her presence matter. By stepping back, she'd become unforgettable. Silence works this way. When you're not always there, your words carry weight. Your actions resonate. Your absence becomes a canvas where others paint their respect, their curiosity. But silence isn't just for others. It's for you. It's where you reconnect with your own voice, your own dreams. Every time you choose silence over noise, you choose yourself. Try this. Next time someone demands your time, pause. Take a breath. Ask, "Is this worth my energy?" If the answer is no, let your silence speak. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Your peace is reason enough. Here's the final piece: strategic scarcity. This isn't about playing games, it's about living so authentically that your energy becomes rare by default. When you prioritize what matters, your purpose, your peace, your growth, you naturally become selective. And that selectivity is dynamite. Think of Noah, a 47-year-old musician who used to play every gig, write for every band, hoping exposure would build his name. He was everywhere, but his music felt diluted, his passion drained. Then he made a choice. He'd only create what set his heart on fire for audiences who valued his sound. He turned down bar gigs, ignored trends, and poured himself into an album. The result? Labels called, fans raved, his scarcity made his music gold. Strategic scarcity is about quality over quantity. It's about saying no to the trivial to say yes to the profound. It's about guarding your energy like a fortress, letting only the worthy pass through. When you live this way, you don't just attract respect, you attract meaning. Your relationships deepen. Your work shines. Your life becomes a tapestry of purpose, not a patchwork of obligations. But scarcity takes courage. You have to be willing to disappoint people, to let go of shallow connections, to walk alone when the crowd beckons. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because when you master scarcity, you master yourself. You become a force, quiet, unshakable, magnetic. Now, let's go deeper. Your legacy, not the kind measured in awards or followers, but the kind etched in the hearts of those you touch. Being unforgettable isn't about being loud or omnipresent, it's about being true. It's about crafting a life so deliberate that your echo lingers long after you're gone. Picture Amara, a 52-year-old gardener in a small village. She wasn't on social media, didn't chase recognition, but her garden was a haven. Amara had a gift for nurturing. Not just plants, but people. She'd notice the neighbor struggling with grief, the child curious about flowers. She'd hand them a seedling, her hands dusted with soil, and say, "Grow this with care." Her voice was soft, but her presence was steady. Outside her garden, Amara was selective. She'd skip town meetings to tend her roses, the scent of blooms her meditation. She'd spend evenings with a book, the crackle of the fire her companion. Amara's secret was intention. She chose who and what deserved her energy. She'd close her gate to focus on her craft, ignoring village gossip. She'd say no to events that didn't spark joy, preferring to teach one child about soil than please a crowd. Her scarcity wasn't distance, it was a gift. By guarding her peace, she had more to give when it mattered. When Amara fell ill, the village rallied. Neighbors brought cuttings. Children drew flowers. Stories poured in. A young woman, now a botanist, said Amara's seedling at 12 sparked her career. An elder said Amara's quiet presence during his wife's illness gave him strength. When Amara passed, the village planted a garden in her honor. Hundreds came, not because Amara was everywhere, but because she was essential. Her legacy wasn't in her visibility, but in her impact. She was unforgettable because she was authentic, because her silences spoke as loudly as her actions. This is the art of crafting your echo, living so fully in your truth that your absence is a presence. Ask yourself, what mark am I leaving? If you vanish tomorrow, would the world feel your void? Not for your noise, but for your depth. Start today. Say no to one thing that drains you. Let one message wait. Spend a moment in silence, listening to your heart. These are the threads of your legacy, woven one choice at a time. Because the world doesn't remember those who were always there. It remembers those who were unforgettable.